All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me formally welcome you to the program Politics Hour, which is our program where we meet political aspirants who are going to good morning, ladies and who are going to be telling us about their aspirations for political office, especially those who are going to be contesting on the House of Representatives. They are going to tell us about their personal tell us about themselves, their political aspirations, and what they intend to do when they get to the House of Representatives. Um, they're going to tell us about their diverse backgrounds with unique perspectives and their passion and why they intend to tour this particular path. Today we are having Mr. Williams Ayomikun. I know I got that right, I guess. Mr. Williams Ayomikun is running for the House of Representatives. It's an House of Rep aspirant for Ilaje Eseredo Federal Constituency in Ondo State. Mr. Williams, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good morning. Nice to be here.
Nice to really have you meet you one-on-one for the first time. So let's go into your personal background. You are introducing yourself to us. Tell us about yourself, personal background. Can you start by telling us about your personal background, your education, career, journey, more specifically inspired you to run for a seat in the House of Representatives?
Thank you, Mr. Kevin. Once again, my name is Ayo Williams, and I'm from Ilaje local government. I am I want to run for the as a member of House of Representatives in Ilaje Eseredo Federal Constituency. I was born in 1978. I schooled in my local government, my primary education, my secondary education, Manuel Memorial Grammar School, and I went to Lagos State University where I read English language. But right now, I'm into business. I'm into oil and gas. I am the director of Apollo Petroleum. I am also into printing business. I have a printing company, the Paracletos Print Limited in Lagos. I am also into fabrics business, and I also have a school, the Williams Montessori School. So I basically do business. Thank you.
All right. I'd like to know more about you when it comes to that. Let's look at your core values and what have guided your personal and professional life so far. I know you are somebody who is principled. I don't know take nonsense from people who have questionable characters. You said it have not passed based on even your recent roles. Tell us more about yourself, your core values, and what has guided your personal and professional life so far. And how do you think those values are going to influence your role as a legislator if you are elected in the lower chamber?
Thank you. Concerning my personal values, is acronym GREAT. And the meaning of GREAT is the G stands for gratitude. And gratitude means that in every situation of life, one must maintain a heart of gratitude to God and to mankind. One must maintain a heart that is always pure and clean, that is always joyous. So that is why every time you have opportunity to encounter me, I'm always looking happy, irrespective of whatever the challenges that one is facing. And if you come into my family, you find the same thing happening among my children and my wife. So gratitude, to be grateful to God and mankind. And then righteousness, to always be in right standing, to always be at the right position, to do things the right way. So righteousness is the second value that we uphold in my family. Then excellence. Excellence is not a destination, it's a journey. One must improve on their last achievement. That's what we call excellence. No matter the level anybody has attained in life, you can't say you have gotten it all. You have to keep improving on the last achievement. So, and you have to continue to do it right. And then the A stands for accountability. I'm this kind of person that I love to be transparent. I love accounting. I love accountability. I love to give account. If you give me any project to do, you can bet that you will have on paper all the details of purchases, and you will have your copy. There are many in my house now, things that I've been given to do in the past. Yeah, I will have my copy. I will send you your own copy, so that 10 years down the line, somebody may want to come up and say, "At so time you were asked to do something, and you embezzled the money, or you did it this, or you did it this way or that way." I can go back to my record, and then we can now begin to look at it one after the other. So where you feel I falter, so you bring it up, then we now begin to explore it. So accountability is a core value in my family and in my life. And then the last one is C, which is truth. Say the truth no matter what will happen. Even if it's going to, get to a point that one's life we have to go, one must learn to say the truth at all times. So these are the core values that have guided my life, for a very long time until now. And that is why people will usually say that Mr. Williams is too principled. He wants his own thing done in an orderly manner. And anybody that is not like that will find it difficult to relate with me. Thank you very much.
All right. That's great. Your core vision for your constituency.
Thank you.
Let's look at what you have for them. What is your vision for your constituency, and how do you think it differs from what your predecessors have attempted to achieve? I know you must have looked at your area, your constituency, and seen some anomalies and some things that should be done. So, what's that vision you have, and how does it differ from what other people may have done or may have not done, as even if they have done anything in the past?
Thank you very much. Well, some of us now are beginning to see reasons to come into politics full time,
Mm, mm,
because we have seen a lot of people in Nigeria who call themselves politicians. And like I usually go to the definition of democracy or politics. Democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But what we have in Nigeria is totally in opposite direction to the definition of democracy. So somebody who is elected to serve as representative of the people is not representing the people, rather is representing himself and his cronies. And that is why when they get there, the important thing to them is how they are able to economically make themselves better and greater, and not how they come back or they give back to the community that have vested that much trust into them to send them for such a noble assignment. So if you look at my constituency, Ilaje, this is two local government, Ilaje local government and SLD local government. And we have three major tribes in that constituency. That is the Ilajes, the Jaws, and the
mm,
Apoys. These are the three major tribes in that constituency. And this is this two local government, I will say, is very important to Ondo State, because when Ondo State is called a Niger Delta State, it is these two local governments that made Ondo State to be called a Niger Delta State, the Laje local government and the SLD local government. Now, coming to my vision and the reasons why I think I will, I'm a better candidate, or I will do better than or my predecessors? Well, I normally give an analysis. Most of the politicians we have or we've been having, it is like when a man is hungry and someone is sent to go and give such a person a loaf of bread and is asked to give the person beverage. You know, you are asked to give the person to buy a Milo, Bonvita, milk in can to give to the person and give the person loaf of bread. And then this person now turn around to make a cup of tea and then two slices of bread and give to the person. And
Tayo Williams, are you there? Tayo Williams, are you there? I think network maybe to lost you there. Are you there? Please confirm you are there. I can't see your video even.
and at that
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we just lost our host. I hope he comes back. I guess he's having some network issues. We are talking to Mr. Ayo Williams, one of them influential members from Ondo State. Mr. Ayo Williams, I think I can see you. Are you back?
yes, yes.
All right. So okay. So let's continue. Okay, you answered your question about your vision for your constituency. Are you done with that? Sorry, I had some little itch in network that threw me
Yes,
out.
the point I was trying to get your attention, I couldn't see you again. So
Okay, all right. So
I had to
let's look at
pause.
okay. So
I
let's
had
look
to
at
pause
your
on that.
okay. So let's look at your legislative priorities when you get to the constituency. I believe you must have some things, important things you want to do. Can you clearly outline your legislative? Can you clearly outline your top three legislative priorities for your constituency? Things you intend to do, specific actions you will take, um, and you take and you want to achieve within your first year in office.
Thank you, sir. Okay, I will go back to my vision for my constituency later. Now,
Okay.
for my constituency, uh, what did you call it again, please?
Your three legislative
By the
priorities for your
yeah,
constituency.
legislative priorities. Thank you. Now, one of the major challenge I have concerning Nigeria is our constitution. The Nigeria
Mm.
constitution has been the major challenge that we are having that is hindering development or that is hindering our coexistence. And that is because the constitution itself is falsehood. And if the foundation is destroyed, what can you build on it? So I believe that there is need for us to revert to the 1963 constitution. And as such, if I
As a
am,
parliamentary system, right?
yes, if I am
Mm.
opportune to get to this place, the position representing my people in the House of Rep, this is one of the legislative assignments I'll be taking on to for a review of the 1999 constitutions as amended for Nigeria to revert to the 1963 constitution, whereby every unit of the country is involved in the development of the country, and then we can now begin to move forward as one nation. And then again, there is something we call Sea Fisheries Act. Like I said earlier on, the Laje people or the SLD people, we are from the River Rhine. The Laje is boasting of 180-kilometer coastline in the
Mm.
Atlantic Ocean, which is the longest on the West Africa countries. Laje people have the longest
Yeah,
coastline
yeah.
on the West Africa in the Atlantic Ocean. So people go to the sea, to fish and get sea fish, and there is no control, no regulation. But I know that there's an act, 1971 Sea Fishery Act, that um, is in charge of that. But the question is, what is um, this act? Is it really effective? Is it in operation? So there is need for us to put in place a bill that can regulate, that can control the level of activities of fisheries that goes on in the Atlantic Ocean. Now, in most cases where people go to the sea now, you see the fishes that are being brought back. They are so small because there is no control. So there is need for a bill to be passed for that to begin to happen. So there can be task force on the high sea, and then we can say from this number of time to this number of time, people are not allowed to fish in this particular area so that the fishes there, can breed and grow, more. And then at a point that place is open again, another place is closed up so that Nigeria can begin to improve in those areas. So this too is major in my heart that I believe I'm going to pursue. Thank you.
All right, let's look at your past experiences, what you've done so far. I know you talked about some of the things you are doing and projects you are doing when it comes to business, but what relevant experience in relation to this job has really you think has make you the best candidate for this position you are vying for? Can you cite specific projects or community projects or initiatives that you have successfully led before now?
Thank you. For community projects, not that there's any in particular that I have personally taken up, but when it comes to assisting young children, I have made printing of exercise books in the past that I have to distribute to primary school children. That's personally done because I have a printing press. Just a few people. And then I think the other thing I can say I have done so far is once in a while, widows that I know around during Xmas period, I buy bag of rice. I run a small poultry farm, personal for my family, and I take out chicken from my farm that I can give to people and then give rice to them, at least just to make some people happy at that period. And then again, there have been people who want to pay school fees. At least I can tell some people who today will call and say, thank you, you were there. There have been people that I paid their school fees from year one till they graduate, and some just just one off, you know, just to assist. So those are the things that I know personally I have done. But in terms of community project, main project, there have been no particular one that I can say, okay, I stand for who there or I did this one there. Not yet.
Okay. Okay, let's look at the Nigerian polity as well. Let's look at accountability, transparency. Most people have most Nigerians and people outside the country tag Nigeria as corrupt. Nigeria's political landscape is plagued with corruption. What and most people feel that those who are vying into office, they just begin to ask about this will not, they are not going to be like the other ones who have actually come in the past. How they are going to be different, nothing like corruption. What concrete measures will you implement to ensure transparency and accountability in your office?
Thank you, sir. I said it earlier that I'm somebody that like to write things down. You
Yeah.
give me a project, you give me an assignment to do, I must document it. And whether it is at the family end or in the church or in the community, I'm given a project to undertake.
mm,
Every details must be documented so
mm,
that tomorrow we can always refer to it. And like I said, I still have many of them in my house and in my office that I can always, fall back on if any question is to come up on it. If we are not ready to do this as a nation, it will be difficult for Nigeria to move forward. Now, there is need for elected officers to be called to give account. Like one of the things that I proposed that I will begin to do twice in a year, there must be town hall meeting where anybody is allowed to come, and then they can ask questions, and then they can also air their own views, give ideas. Nobody is an island of knowledge. Nobody has a monopoly of wisdom. That's one of the problems we have with our elected officers. They are not grassroots people. Sometimes you have somebody living in America or in Canada or in the UK or somewhere, the person or in Port Harcourt or Abuja, the political juggernaut, the political fathers, political
yeah.
fatherism. They call these people to come, and then they said, come and vie for this position because the person has money. And then the person get to Abuja, he does not know the people. He does not even have an idea of what the problem the people are going through. So we need to begin to have people elected by the people who have clear understanding of the challenges of the people and the community. And then
Mm,
people that will be willing to come back to ask the people, to ask them, how am
mm.
I faring? How well have I done in the last 6 months, in the last 1 year, the last 2 years? So that if
Will
you don't
you
do where this, if you don't do where this, some people should from the crowd, pick up stones and stone you and say, get out of the place. You are not doing anything.
will you
But this,
okay, let me ask this. Will you be committed to publishing detailed reports of your constituency project funds, including how they are allocated and spent?
thank you for,
And how frequency will you do this? I'm saying this because I recall one that happened, I think it should be this dispensation or so, about the rice distribution issue from the National Assembly, where there was this rumor that the president gave them rice to distribute. Some said they were giving rice to distribute. Then we noticed that some senators were distributing rice, and some said they were not giving that kind of stuff. Even more constituency project funds. So, will you be committed to publishing detailed reports of the constituency project funds and letting your constituents know how these projects are actually spent? And how frequency will you be publishing these reports to the public?
thank you. Definitely, I will be committed to publishing details report of our activities. Now, I want to cite this scenario. When I was in Lagos, because as an activist, we had uh, what is it called? A walk, a peaceful walk for the June 12th in 2012, if I can recall now. And after the whole thing, the rally that we did, we were at Ikeja Airport Hotel to have a press conference of that rally. And I won't mention names. And two of my colleagues came to me with a big brown envelope. And said, Baba Willie, this is your, Baba Willie means, that word,
Yeah.
Baba, just to, Baba Willie, this is your own portion. I said, portion of what? And then the money contributed, money realized for the rally, the remaining, so we have to, share it. Then I was startled, I was surprised. Seriously, I was flabbergasted because I felt if we who are crying in the media that we want Nigeria to be great,
Mm,
now we had an ordinary June 12 rally
mm,
and we are now sharing the proceeds
mm,
that we got from people. I now told them, I said, I thought that we are supposed to make list
mm,
and publish list of how much came in. If we don't want to mention donors, maybe some people do not want their name to be mentioned. So, but at least list of how much came in, how much we spent, and how much remaining, and we publish it in the national dailies. You know what they said to me? Kevin, you know what they said to me?
What did you say?
They told me that this one is JJC.
And that's what
Ah, they called me JJC. That this one does not know how this thing is done. Oh, and they took the
uh,
envelope away. And you know,
it
you
makes me
said,
want to ask. It makes me want to ask a question because I wanted to jump. I wanted to ask.
okay,
A politician has its way of funding his campaign, its project.
yes,
Um, we don't know this, but a lot of them, most of the time, don't have enough money, and they want to go for sources that may give them compromising influences and influence the way they behave to the extent that they be at the detriment of their constituency. They may not want to do anything for their constituency based on the way funds came in. How are you going to avoid such a situation? How do you intend to maintain financial independence and avoid compromising influences? I know you said that's what you just said. How are you going to avoid things like this, even when you get there at the
thank you,
National
sir.
Assembly? Because we know that some behaviors being displayed by the lawmakers actually
Mm,
influenced by the fact that they are being compromised over there. You understand?
yes,
So it's like they completely ignore their consequences and now doing their own thing, doing the bidding of whoever it's influenced. How are you going to avoid such circumstances?
thank you. You see, like I said earlier on, if one is not solid, if you don't have a value for yourself, if you don't
Mm.
have a strong value system,
What values?
you will get compromised at even the
Mm.
minutest thing.
Mm.
But if you are solidly, strong, having a value system that you cannot compromise,
Mm.
and then don't also forget that people believe that Christians who are born again should not go into politics. Now, if we leave politics to the devil, what should we expect? Evil.
Mm.
So good people, Christians who are born again, I mean reborn again, should come into it. And then there are a lot of things that should go into that because you get there, you will meet a lot of trouble. So the
Mm.
aspect that we have to be spiritually sound and praying, that one is there. That's the spiritual aspect. But physically speaking here, people that are close to me know that if I'm into something and
Mm.
is compromising on my value,
Mm. Okay, I think we lost Mr. Ayo Williams. I believe he will come back shortly. He's having a problem with his network. Viewers will be talking to Mr. Ayo Williams, a strong member of a program from Ondo State. Okay, I think we have him back. Mr. Ayo Williams, yeah, welcome, sir. Yeah, I know it's your network. I know it's your network. Just go
Sorry,
ahead.
it's the
Sorry
network, please.
about that. Nigeria happened to us. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so like the question you asked, so now people that are close to me know that if I am into something and it's seriously affecting my value system, I pull out of that thing.
Mm.
So we should get to a point that we can now begin to have people in Nigeria who are appointed into offices or elected who will resign because they don't want to compromise values. So this will begin to serve as precedents to younger people coming so that we cannot begin to have enough people who believe that things should be done right. I love the story of Fela Durotoye when I read it, of at a particular time when he was given a project to undertake to train some set of leaders. He told that story of how they wanted to pad the money that was to be used for that, which he turned down. Eventually, he didn't. That was not given to him, or maybe as the story goes. But you know, it came out eventually that they said that was something that they should have used, to get him hooked. But they said the man did not. So we should begin to have people like that. We should begin to have stories like that in Nigeria. All of us must not be bad apple. All of us must not be bad fruit. We should have among us in Nigeria people that are good and want this country to be great. Thank you, sir.
All right, let's come back to activities for us to know how things will be like with you, the National Assembly. What specific bills or motions do you plan to sponsor that will directly benefit your constituency? And then what specific bills or motions do you plan to sponsor or support that will benefit your constituency? You know, that's one of the KPIs.
Yes,
because we have, that's one of the KPIs. That's one of the yardsticks for us to know if the legislature is also performing or not. Because we do have legislators who have not even introduced a bill. Most of them are just sitting down in national debate. So let's know those bills you want to sponsor. And there's one more thing about doing that. Whenever he put a bill in the floor of the house,
can you me connect my AirPod because I'm finding it hard to hear what you're saying.
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, let's just give him a moment to put on his AirPod. We can't get back to us shortly. He says he has problems listening to the questions we are having. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking to Mr. Ayo Williams. He is running for the House of Representatives for Ilaje Eshirodo Federal Constituency in Ondo State, and has been telling us about his political aspirations, about himself, his core values, and what he intends to do in the floor of the lower chamber. Salo Williams, are you back? Are you ready with us? I can't hear you now. Your voice is not coming out. No, I can't hear you. I think it was better the first time, but I can't hear you. I think it was better the first time. No, you've turned the camera, sir. Okay, leave it like that. Yeah, please. Can you put down the earpod? Let's try again. Leave the camera like this.
I think you can use the AirPod to listen.
Please.
But if you want to remove it.
Mr. Williams, are you there? Just remove the earpod. Remove the earpod. I think it's better without the earpod. We'll manage.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you very clearly now. So let's so what bills do you want to introduce? And how are you going to go through bipartisan support? How are you going to make sure that those bills are passed? Especially when you're going to have other people, other parties who may want to oppose your bill. Quickly, please. So
okay, Mr. Kevin, am I audible now?
Yeah, you are very audible, please.
All right, thank you. Okay, so like I said earlier on, I want to sponsor a bill to control and regulate the fish farming in the Ilaje Eshirodo Federal Constituency. There should be a bill that should regulate and control fish farming on the sea. That is one that I want to, seriously engage in. Then again, there is sea incursion. As we speak now, more than half of the communities in the riverine area of local government is gone. So I will also be interested to sponsor a bill, for the government to look into sea incursion, especially as it affects Ondo State. So these are two major bills I would be willing to, sponsor. Then, like I said earlier on, the constitutional review bill, for us to revert to the 1963 Constitution, and then we can now begin to put Nigeria on the path of.
How are you going to handle bipartisan support? Get support for your bill across the divide so that it won't be thrown out.
All right, thank you. Well, this is going to have to do with our leadership traits, our leadership abilities. I'm this kind of person that I have very good interpersonal relationship with people. It does not matter who you are, where you are from, and that's why I'm a whole Nigeria. I don't see somebody from the east as somebody that is far from me, or somebody from the north as my enemy. I believe in one Nigeria, and I relate with everybody the same way. The fact that you are a Yoruba person, you are not going to get favor from me against a Fulani man or against an Hausa man or an ethnic person. No. So I relate with people very well. So if I get to the house, it will be very easy for me to relate with a lot of the people there. We build interpersonal relationship. And that
Okay.
way, when you have a bill you want to sponsor, you can discuss one-on-one with people first and make them to see reason why that bill should be supported. And then, from there we can take it up. Thank you.
All right. Before we go more about ethics and morals, I would like to ask, Nigerians expect their quality of life to improve. You ask the leaders going there, they expect you to go there and also try and improve on it, and they expect the basic things. What tangible steps will you take to improve access to quality healthcare? Some of the basic things are the grassroots, also education, and provide economic community opportunities for your constituents, for the youth, and along with security, which is one of the top burning issues in Nigeria right now. Quickly, please.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Quickly. Now, first, I am going to be talking about fishing and farming because this is our business in our area, in our federal constituency here. Our major line of business is farming and fishing. So, I am currently doing a study on Vietnam. Vietnam is a country that is boasting of feeding the whole world with frozen food.
Come
Like
again,
the
what country
last
is that?
Vietnam,
Okay, Vietnam. Okay, good.
yes. And I am currently doing a study on them. Some of the companies.
For my app, I'm not lost in. I think we lost him again. Okay, Mr. and gentlemen, we've lost Mr. Ayo Williams. I believe he will come back shortly. We're talking with Mr. Ayo Williams from Ondo State. He's running for the position of House of Representatives for for Esheldo Federal Constituency. Okay, I think he's back. Mr. Ayo Williams, quickly finish up what you were saying, and let's move on to.
All right.
Okay, quick. Okay, go ahead. Just go ahead. Continue.
Okay, so Vietnam, like
you're talking about Vietnam as a country that wants to feed the world with frozen foods.
So they have fish pond in a commercial scale, and that's one that I think we can do in Ondo State, especially in my federal constituency, because it's a waterlogged area. We can have fish ponds in commercial scale that we can feed everybody in Ondo State, and fish will become like sand. And then we can take it up and begin to feed the whole of Nigeria. And then we can take it up to West Africa and to Africa. That is one major project that I've put down that we can go into. Then again, youth empowerment. We can go into youth empowerment, help a lot of youth. For instance, if I put 10 youth together and I am helping them with 10 million naira and say, go and bring a business proposal. I want to support you with 10 million naira each. And then I put a body in place to monitor that business. And then we are able to see that business prosper, the business grow and prosper. And then these same people later in future can grow to a point that they can now help one or two other persons to grow. And that way, we'll be building people. Basically, we should learn to build people, not just building infrastructure. If we build infrastructure and we don't build people, those people will come back to destroy the infrastructure. But if we build people, those people will build infrastructure and they can maintain it. So youth empowerment, women empowerment, educational support system, we can give scholarship, we can give, we can go to schools. Most of our schools are dilapidated. If you see the condition under which children are learning, then what do you expect the children to know? So these are areas that we can begin to help ourselves. Then we can, again, in the education support system, there are some students that are extraordinarily good. We should learn to sponsor some of these people outside Nigeria. For example, in ICT, if we gather about 10, 20 young, ICT guys, to put them together and send them abroad to go and understudy, which is what Japan did when they were to, grow into electronic giant in the world. They sent own young people to Europe to go and learn. And then these guys will come back, they will dismantle those electronics, those gadgets, and ask them to recouple it. So they will recouple, and then there they now start to encourage and assist them to start building their own. And what was it? Japan had a vision that in the nearest future, they want to be the #1 electronic producer, manufacturer in the world. And today you can't throw Japan away when it comes to electronics in the world. So there is need for us to put a vision in place, to set a vision for the younger people, for the younger generation. And then we can now begin to pursue it. In my area, we also have oil palm, in this area. So we can also go into that business on a commercial scale, to the point that instead of importing oil palm from Malaysia or from Indonesia, we can now begin to export en masse. Not only exporting en masse, quality products. Because one of the problems that the outside world has with Nigeria is that our products are known to know, are not, does not meet standards, world standard. And in most cases, they don't accept what we produce here. So there is need for us to produce this thing here at a very high world standard, so we can begin to export them. But before we begin to export, let's make sure that an average person in Nigeria does not find it hard to get this thing. They don't need to put through their nursery for them to get it. We make it readily available and in excess. So these are some of the,
all right. Let's quickly go to our stance on cutting the cost of governance. What's your stance on salary cuts and reductions? What's your stance on salary cuts and reductions in allowances for political office holders as a way of reducing costs on governance? What's your stance on that? Oh, we lost him again. Mr. Williams, if you could get back on. I know you have issues with your network. We're almost concluding. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking with Mr. Ale Williams from Ondo State. He's running for the House of Representative position under Ilaje Eseodo Federal Constituency. So, Mr. Ale Williams, I can see you are back. You were talking about what's your stance on salary costs and reductions in allowances as a way of reducing the cost of governance? Quickly, in a few words, before we go to.
Thank you, sir. I believe that the salaries and allowances of elected officers should be made unattractive. To be made unattractive, so that the real people who want to build this nation can get into offices. But because most of the people that want to go to this office want to make money, and this is my stand. This is what I say about it. You see, if somebody has a slavery mentality, that person will believe that nothing belongs to him or her. So they want to steal and continue to steal and continue to steal. So the problem we have is that most of our politicians have slavery mentality, and they are hungry people and wicked people. So I believe that instead of having huge salary and allowances. Let's make it unattractive. Let's cut it down.
You've actually supported the parliamentary system of governance. You said we should go back to 1963, which I know in such form of parliamentary system is money part-time. You support that, right? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
You actually talk about supporting the parliamentary system of governance, which you said at the beginning of this interview. You support the parliamentary system of governance where people do their legislative jobs part-time, right? Are you there, Mr. Ayomikun? I hope we've not lost him. Charles Williams, are you there? Okay.
Sorry, the network was messing up.
So quickly, your stance on the cost of governance, salary cuts, allowance, quickly.
Yes, so I believe that the salary should be, taken down, should be reduced to the point that, we should look at the yardstick for civil servants, how they are paid. I think that same should be replicated for elected officers. But where an elected officer is getting almost about 13 million naira monthly or 18 million naira or 25 million naira monthly, it doesn't make sense. We are not planning to make the country great. But if an elected officer is taking maybe 1 million or 2 million naira and with your allowances, everything just come to say 3 or 4 million naira, I think that is still okay. Then let your constituency allowance be taken up so that we can now, begin to have enough projects to undertake. That is more important than the salaries that we want to take. Because in the first instance, if you don't go into that office, you should have your business or your job, something that you are doing with your life. And therefore, Nigeria should now be the one to now take care of your life from now till you go. So that's my stand about it. And this idea of buying a 250 million naira vehicle for elected officers, it's high time we stop all this madness.
Yeah, all right. So let's look at your KPIs. What do you think are the performance indicators that people should use to measure your success in office?
Thank you.
And yes, and okay, just let's know about that.
Okay, thank you. So by the time I will be spending 4 years in the house and I will be leaving, I want a situation whereby people will look and say, oh, about 500 youth, 1,000 youth, 2,000, 5,000 youth are now standing on their feet and they are doing great. And not just doing great, but the whole community can see the effect, the impact, the great things they are doing. So that's one. Secondly, there should be some projects, posterity projects, that people can point to even 20, 25, 50 years after you are no longer there. That they can point to, it was during the time of this person that we had this water system that is built here, that, everybody in the riverine area, because in my area, water is one of the biggest problems that we have because of the sea.
Yeah.
So, and if there's a project by the Mimiko administration, that they did a water system in one of the communities. But as we speak to today, it has been commissioned, but nobody is drinking the water. These are some things that we need to do. Projects that will stand the test of time. that people can point to any day, anytime, that can lessen the burden of the people. So the Oluwa Glass factory, is now moribund. And these are things that can be resuscitated.
If you fail to meet your set target or promises, assuming, what steps will you take to address such failures in case? And then, let's know this. How should your constituents hold you accountable?
Good, beautiful. Well, it's only in Nigeria that when you go into offices like this and you mess up, nobody is asking you anything.
Yeah,
But I think we should get to a point where our constituency should be able to take us to court to come and give account of how you have spent all the constituency allowances that you have gotten. Then again, we should get to a point where anybody who is your family member do not be allowed any privileges in those communities, so that should serve as deterrent to people. And then your family people too will be on your neck. Please don't destroy this family name. Don't destroy this family legacy. Don't destroy this family, because once you mess up, they believe all your family has messed up. We should get to that point. People like that, we should get to a point that we will stigmatize the entire family so that we don't have anything to do with them again. But for that to happen, our traditional institution will give you chieftaincy title. And they will celebrate you and sing your praises when you come to the community. We should stop doing that. Thank you, sir.
All right. Our time is fast spent, but I always do this. On a final note, I want to be asking you to do something like you're going to be pitching yourself to your constituents, facing the camera just like you are right now, telling them face to face why the people of your constituency should trust you to represent them in the House of Representatives. You're going to tell them what makes you uniquely qualified to serve them effectively and with that you are talking to them. Because I'm listening to you right now. Please go ahead, sir.
All right, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to start this way. If you don't have love for something, you don't care what happened to that thing. One of the things that made God God is because of the love that God has for mankind. Anybody who cannot have love for mankind, you cannot do anything tangible for mankind. I am Ayo Williams. I am somebody that have extreme love for people and for my community. And I want my community to become great. I want my constituency to become great. I want development in my constituency. Elaje, SLD, federal constituency. I want development to come to our constituency. I want our name to be put on the map, on world map. I want somebody to hear about SLD in Maryland, in America, and say, oh, yes, I know about that place. I can say some things about that place, because we are advertising ourselves to the world based on the great things that we are doing for ourselves and we are achieving for ourselves. I want a situation whereby we can have young people in our constituency that are also that have become technocrats, and their name is already on the map of the world. For instance, look at Okonje Iweala. She comes from a particular community, a particular federal constituency. Her name is on the world map. I want people from my constituency to be like that. And that will start from having a vision for the constituency, and all of us agree together with it to build it, to develop it, to make it great. And Ayo Williams is that man that God has sent to come out that take this task. Give me your vote, and after 4 years, you all will be happy that God sent me to you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Honorable. We have been talking to Mr. Ayo Williams, strong grassroots supporter from a program from Ondo State. Mr. Ayo Williams, thank you for coming to this program. Mr. Ayo Williams has been talking about his political aspirations, self, and what he intends to do when he gets to the lower chamber in the House of Representatives. is running for House of Rep, representing Ilaje
Ilaje Eseodo.
Eseodo Federal Constituency. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And you've heard a lot from him, and he has speak himself for you, so it's up to you. Thank you, Mr. Ayomikun, for coming to the program. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
Viewers, we'll hope to be here tomorrow with another member, another aspirant who's going to be running for the House of Rep. For me here, it's goodbye for now. Thank you for joining us.